Captain Crush from the future. I'm sorry the audio in this video is absolute garbage. I wouldn't release it normally, but we're on a time crunch, so I have to release it. I'm sorry. Turn the audio down and hopefully your ears don't bleed. Good luck, and I'll see you soon. What's up? My name is Captain Crush. I'll be your host for the next 15 or so minutes. Are you tired of being a losing fantasy player? Do you have questions? Do you want to develop a solid process that makes you a winner? You've found the right place. Go ahead, give me your attention for the next few minutes, and I promise I will lead you down the right path. What I do is I break down PrizePicks, DraftKings, FanDuel, Thrive Fantasy, Underdog Fantasy, all the fantasy stats and props. I will cover it and help you guys develop a winning process. Okay? My goal is to keep it fun and entertaining. This is boring information for the most part, unless you're nerds like we are. I try to make it as fun as I can for you guys, and I will continue to do it on a daily basis. That being said, let's get into it. Normally, I would go over to Thrive Fantasy and do a two-man over there, but I didn't have a lot of time today. I had a lot of obligations, so we are going straight to the fantasy scores today, fam. All right, here we are. We got Jimmy Butler / Himmy Butler. We got Jason Tatum, 52 fantasy score. We got Bam Adebayo. We got Malcolm Brogdon. We got the role player scrubs. We got the masked man who now no longer wears a mask, Jaylen Brown. We got a couple of other scrubs here. What do we got? Robert Williams III. He's got a W right in his name. We got the man who sold everyone last game, Kyle Lowry, 21.5 fantasy points. Where are we going here? That is a good question. Before I even talk about any more of these fantasy scores, I brought out my handy dandy notepad so you guys can see what's going on. Jason Tatum, 1.42 fantasy points with a 32% usage rate. Jaylen Brown, 1.21 fantasy points per minute, 31% usage rate. Al Horford, 0.85 fantasy points per minute, abysmal 12% usage rate. Marcus Smart, 0.89, 17%. Brogdon, 1.07, 22% usage. Derek White, we're not even covering him. Himmy Butler, 1.27 fantasy points, 25% usage rate. Bam Adebayo, 1.15. Kyle Lowry, 0.86. Struss, 0.74. Gabe Vincent, 0.69. And Kevin Handsome Love, 1.01 fantasy point per minute. I don't think he's handsome, but apparently someone voted on him that a couple years ago and he won sexiest man in the league or something like that. Some nonsense. Let's move on. So we broke down the fantasy points per minute, which is obviously the most important thing when we're determining these fantasy scores. Okay, we take the fantasy point per minute, we go to the calculator, we do the math, we grind it out, and we find value. What we got here, we got Miami Heat are +4 at home. Yesterday, I told y'all, Denver Nuggets +5.5 right here on this YouTube video. I called my shot again, and I said take Denver +5.5. It cashed. It wasn't even close. If you're going to give me Miami Heat +4 at home when they're up 2-0 with Himmy Butler, give me +4 Miami Heat. I'll take that. And that being said, okay, how do I believe that they get +4? How do I believe they may not win the game, but do I think they keep it close? I absolutely do. I'm taking Himmy Butler, 51 fantasy points. I'm taking Jason Tatum. I took him last game too. He was play of the day. Everyone was like, man, Captain, Jason Tatum sold last game. You only got 30 fantasy points. Guess what? Get him off your ban list that you shouldn't even have, you fish, and know that he crushes any given Sunday, which is today, okay? He can crush anytime he steps on the court. It's all about the fantasy point per minute, and this links up with the math, so we will take more. They have to win. If they don't win this game, they're going to be down with Joel Embiid in Mexico, okay? Bam Adebayo, this is my least favorite, 37.5 fantasy points. I like Bam Adebayo's points today, which we will discuss later, but I don't really think that his fantasy score, I know he's due a stinker. All these guys are due a stinker except Tatum because he's got a gun to his head. Malcolm Brogdon, 25 fantasy points. I'm not a huge fan of it, but he is the sixth man for a reason, and he could get the job done. I really wouldn't go to his fantasy score. I'd probably just take another prop, which I will discuss later. His real points looks very good. He sold last time by freaking 0.5. It was brutal. He missed a layup. I watched it live. So let's X him out. Robert Williams III. The man's got a W right in his name. 22 fantasy points. Doesn't seem like a lot for a center. If he plays 20 to 25 minutes, I think he can get this done. The math checks out. I will take my chances here, and I will take more. Kyle Lowry. He sold everyone last game, including you. I know he sold you. I know you had more on Kyle Lowry. He definitely sold last game. He didn't play the first half at all. He did nothing. It was not even a stat. I think he had 1 turnover and 1 assist. The second half, he had a decent half. No real points, but he had a couple dimes, a couple rebounds, a turnover or two because he's Kyle Lowry. It just wasn't Toronto Kyle Lowry, but they still got the W. Now they're at home. If you want to take anything here, this was at 22 last game, maybe even more. I think it might have been at 24. Now it's at 21.5. If you want to take more, I don't hate it. I'm probably not going here. I'm probably just going to stick to these 4 as far as fantasy scores and take my chances. Vincent Strus, Martin, all these guys are technically in play because they're just so low. 17, 18.5, 19.5, 21.5. Caleb Martin, he came through on the second half last game for us and he crushed. He got that bag for us. I don't know if he's going to have a good game again. He has been trending up 34, 33. If he gets the minutes and can stay out of foul trouble, I would take a dice roll on him. Possibly. He's at home, otherwise I wouldn't. It never feels comfortable rostering Caleb Martin, but I feel like Spoelstra is getting more confident in him. He was injured early on before the playoffs. I think that now he's coming back into his rhythm. So if you want to take shots here, the model hates it, the math, Vegas hates it, but the captain, he might like it. I will take more on this, and that is my only role player that I'm probably going to touch for the Heat. I'm not really going to touch Struss. I'm not going to touch Vincent. I will say this. Vincent, less. That would probably be your best bet. Struss, the math says to take less, but I could definitely see Max going out there tonight and being like, I'm Max. I'm going to fire 3 threes and have 9 fantasy points in the first 6 minutes. And if that happens, you can rest assured that this fantasy score total is chalk. So I'll just stay away, fade the prop. Vincent, I like less. Caleb Martin, that's my total. Crazy Town play is Caleb Martin, 21.5 fantasy more. Marcus Smart, do I want to take his fantasy score? He's been turning it over a lot. He sold last game. I know a lot of you are like, Cap, he's sold, he's on my list. Get out of here with your list. No one's interested in your list, trust me, especially not me, okay? So if you want to take Marcus Smart, 27.5 fantasy points, you can, but I got a different prop in mind for Marcus Smart, and I will discuss that later. Al Horford, I have a different prop for him. I'm not taking his fantasy score, but whenever you have guys in a must-win game and their backs against the wall, I don't hate it. You could say, Captain, you said that about LeBron last night and he sold. Yes, our community slip went 4 of 5 last night, by the way. 4 of 5. So the day before, we went 5 of 5, and then last night, we went 4 of 5 for a double up. The community slips, they're on pace, they've been doing well, and yes, we will have a live stream today on TikTok. You can bet your bottom dollar that we will, okay? LeBron didn't get there. He needed 4 more fantasy points. It is what it is. He's the GOAT. Get off him. He crushes. 20 years of excellence. I don't want to hear your tears. Speaking of which, I'm going to go back to my notepad because we were talking about excellence, and that reminded me about something real quick. Okay, so here we are with my YouTube props for yesterday. Let's go back and see how we did. D'Angelo Russell, less, 13.5 points. That is a cash. It hit. Rui Hachimura, everyone said, myself included, if you want to take the Uno reverse and go more on him, that would be okay. But the math in my model said less, 13.5 points. I might Uno reverse and take this over because he's been under and getting wrecked. But like I always say, trust the process. The math and the model is king of the road here. Your own biases and your own opinions are garbage. Mine included. Who cares what my opinion is? It's not relevant. All we need to worry about is the math. Hachimura, less 13.5. Cash it. Aaron Gordon, more 5.5 rebounds. I don't think that cashed, actually. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to go back and look. Jamal Murray, more 10.5 rebounds plus assists. Jamal Murray crushed yesterday. That's a cash. Pretty sure that was a cash. He had 6 assists. We had him over at 5.5. I'm pretty sure he had 4 rebounds. You know what? I'm going to check that right now. It's a cash. 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 13. So we cashed there. While we're here, let's check Aaron Gordon. We did have Aaron Gordon's under fantasy points, which was a cash, but I don't know if he got 5.5 rebounds last night. I don't think he did. Yeah, he didn't. He had 3 rebounds last night. So that was a chalk. Okay, so we have 1, 2, we're 3 hit, 1 chalk. Jason Tatum plays tonight, more rebounds. That's been bumped to 15, which is why I gave it to you guys early. And then LeBron James, less than 8 assists. LeBron went off. He went and got like 12 assists. So it is what it is. So we were 2 for 2. We were 3 cashed, 2 chalked. It was still hitting above average, and the fantasy score totals with Austin Reeves, Anthony Davis, Jamal Murray, those all cashed as well. So we had a pretty good day. I did anyways. I hope you guys did too. My second half prop, unfortunately, chalked. It happens. Joker stayed under, but Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown went nuts second half, even though he had 3 fouls. I said when I posted that, it was risky. It is what it is. Let's move on. All right, so I'm back to the notepad. All right, so I'm back to my handy dandy notepad, and I got some YouTube plays for you guys that I like. Marcus Smart, 21.5 PRA, 53% chance to hit. Model projects him for 23.2. That's almost 2-point discrepancy. Go ahead and take more for Marcus Smart. It's always scary when you take Marcus Smart, but I like him. Himmy Butler, I got Hammy Butler here just for the lulz. More than 5.5 assists. I believe he's going to get exactly 6. I know this line's going to get bumped to 6. I hope it stays at 5.5 by the time this movie is edited and published. My model has him going for 6, minus 135. Take more, Himmy Butler. Al Horford, the scariest man, rickety old knees, Al Horford. The man's got no knees. He's out there with 2 sticks and a torso running around at the big man, playing the 5. Al Horford, more, 8.5 rebounds plus assists, 52% chance to hit. Model has him going for 9.5. It's insane. So go ahead and take more on rickety old man Horford. Now, all right, I want to talk about Malcolm Brogdon for a second, the de facto 6th man. He is the 6th man for a reason. We have his over, more, 3.5 rebounds. It cashed last game, but it hasn't been cashed in the 2 games before that. This is a volatile prop. It's tilting, but mathematically, this is the right prop, and I always mention this 3.5 rebounds because they don't bump it to 4, so I will continue to take it. Hopefully, he plays a full 28 minutes, and if he does, I believe he can grab 3.5 boards. I will take it, but if you say Cap, I'm not interested in his rebound prop. I'm tired of taking his rebound prop. Give me his points. I took his points last game, and he sold by a bucket, and I watched him miss a layup, and it hurt. But it was at 15.5. Now they've lowered it. They lowered it to 14.5. I will not be shocked if this line gets moved to 15 by the time we do live streams. Go ahead, if you want to roll dice, shake them up and throw them down. 14.5 real points. They need to get a W, and I believe if they win, it's going to be because Malcolm Brogdon had a hand to play in that. 14.5 more. Pick your poison. It's dealer's choice. Whichever, whatever. I like them both. Okay, those are the props that I wanted to cover for YouTube. I had some other ones that I covered via Dub Club. When that is live, you guys will all be able to get in and get the Dub Club and the Discord. I promise it's coming soon. I almost have my content schedule done. I don't do things half-cocked. I do things no half measures. I do things correctly around here. I am built to last. Ford tough, baby. I am not a flash in the pan. I'm going to be around a long time doing this for you fellers. All right. A lot of you guys like these field goal attempt props. Do yourself a favor. Do the captain a favor. Stay away from all that nonsense, okay? It's just total dice roll, total nonsense. No sharp bettors are taking field goals made or field goal attempts. I'm telling you guys right now, if you want to be sharp, you're not sharp. First of all, none of us are sharps yet. If you want to be on the right path to becoming a, quote, sharp, Cap, what does sharp mean? Sharp means you're a good, profitable, winning sports bettor, okay? I'm like 80% there on being a full-blown sharp, okay? I still got a few leaks in my game because I still like to dabble in the fun props here and there because you guys twisted my arm, aka LeBron James more than one dunk last night. I don't know how that doesn't cash. How does LeBron James not get one dunk at home last night? Not even one for a push? That literally looked like a free square to me, but it is what it is. I'm not crying. LeBron, you're still the GOAT. It is what it is. Okay, but we have fun props here. If you want to take any of these dunks, I won't begrudge you. I'm not doing it today. Maybe Bam out of bio 1.5. I'm not sure. Points in the first 6 minutes, not touching these. Minutes played. If I was going to take minutes played, it would be these two, and that's that. More and more. Again, not profitable long term. A complete dice roll, a total joke of a prop. Minutes played, like what? It's just insane. I can't recommend that to anyone. I just can't do it. I will say this though. Here is the God's honest truth about my model right now. Both of these guys are projected to go way under. Struss is projected for 8 points. Caleb Martin is projected for 8 points or 8 or 9 points as well. I told you guys I like the Uno reverse. I like Caleb Martin. I'm going to Crazy Town. I'm taking more on his fantasy score because it's just a gut opinion play. If you want to tail me and join me, hop on the Crazy Town train. I don't mind it. But buyer beware, seller beware. We're going against the grain here. Now, if you want to take more on his points, I don't hate that either, but I'm just giving you full disclosure. My model likes both of these less. I think it's insane to touch either of these props less. For me, I'm just fading the props, fam. But I wanted to throw that in there because I believe it's my obligatory duty as the leader of the soldiers, okay? So I gave you guys my 2 cents on that. Just know that you're chucking dice because you are. All right, now I've covered everything I wanted to cover on PrizePicks. Let's go over to Underdog Fantasy where I'm 2 for 2. We're 2 for 2, boys. I literally gave 5 of 5 the other day, and yesterday we went 3 of 3. A lot of y'all cry. Those baseball whatever. It went 3 of 3. It is what it is. Today I cooked up this. I got a pick'em contest for you. Jason Tatum higher than 52.3 fantasy points. Malcolm Brogdon higher, 14.5 real points. Al Horford higher, 8.5 rebounds plus assists. That is the most scary one out of the bunch, folks. Higher, Jimmy Butler, 5.5 assists, and higher, Bam Adebayo, 18.5 real points. All of these can be mixed around over on PrizePicks as well. It's up to you. I would recommend insuring this. It'll give you 10x. If you don't, it's 20x. But if you insure it and you get 4 out of 5, they'll pay you 2.5x, which is always a good time. Okay, let's check out the spread one more time. It's still the same. Miami Heat +4. I've called my shot yesterday with the Nuggets +5.5. I'm taking Miami Heat +4 today. Over under 214. I'd probably say the game tends to stay under. I really don't like that, taking these game bets on DraftKings right now. But if you're gonna get Miami Heat 4-point dogs at home, I don't see how you don't take that. Could we be wrong? Boston could come out tonight with a chip on their shoulder and be like, nah, fam, we're blowing them out of the water. It is what it is. We're taking the W. We demand the W. But with the math, with everything, +4 for the Heat, the home team in a playoff game, bro, just go ahead and take +4. And if you lose, you lose. If it sells, it sells. Whatever. You live to fight another day. You made the right choice. Okay, fam. You made it to the end of the video. I tried to get through this video as quick as I could today. I tried to get it out there. I had a lot of stuff to do. I'm sorry the video's out late. I still got to edit this whole thing. Hopefully I get it out by 2:30. My goodness. Every one of you guys keep me going every day. I hope you had a fun time. These videos, most of them I've seen other content creators, they're snooze fests. I try to give it to you in a way that you can be semi-entertained. I know a lot of you guys don't have attention spans. Trust me, I know. I've been on TikTok. But I do my best here each and every day. I appreciate you guys. I'm giving you the salute. Bet responsibly. It's very important. It's a playoff game, and this game especially, it's one game, so bet responsibly. Good luck tonight, and as always, let's crush.